Have you ever thought about selling cars from your driveway? Maybe just to make a bit of extra cash or to leave your full-time job? Well, I'm doing that. From cheap flips and project cars, so hit the subscribe button to follow my journey, one car at a time, the highs, the lows, the wins, the losses. You're gonna see it all. We are back, and after taking a week off, it's time to get to work now. I have had a few negative comments on the last video where I said that I don't have any money, that I'm skint, and that I shouldn't have gone on holiday. And those people are 100% correct. I shouldn't have took the money out of the business that was owed to me, taken my little baby on holiday, seen her take her first little steps holding her hands, seeing her smile, seeing her try all new foods. I shouldn't have done that. 100% I should not have done that. I shouldn't have taken Nia on holiday and given her an amazing trip full of memories that she'll treasure, staying in the pool all day and swimming and playing. From a business perspective, I should not have done that. You are right. You are bang on. But I never started this journey with the intention to drive a Lambo. That's Matt Armstrong's channel. Go and watch that. I am a guy just trying to have the best life, doing what I love to do, which is working on cars, which is detailing cars. But the whole point of leaving the dealership, earning £3,000, £4,000, £5,000 a month, even sometimes more, was to spend more time with these two to watch them grow. I saw a video recently that says, your child is your best friend for 10 years. And then they get new best friends. So for as long as they want to hang out with dad, I'm going to do that. And I'm not sorry. So we're back to work. This week we've got a lot to do to get back some of the money we spent so we can buy some cars. We're going to be focusing on cheaper cars. We're going to be focusing on grafting. If the focus isn't gone by the end of this week, the advert expires in 4 days, that's going to the dealership, they can sell it, and we'll replace that with 2 cars. So for everybody that says we shouldn't have gone on holiday, you're right. What have you got to say to the people that said you shouldn't have gone on holiday?
It was wonderful, thank you.
Don't
say that again.
And that's it. Let's get to work. The first job of the week is I sold 3 years ago and the dealership took it back in part exchange. Now over the last 3 years they've used it. It has been used as a absolute dog van. So we're going to jet wash the mats out, wet vax the seats up, polish the trim that's got absolutely battered. There are some stains on the seats, and they had a lovely Cocker Spaniel when I first, how faded that is. They had a lovely Cocker Spaniel when I sold them this car. That's why they bought it. And the dog has obviously spent 3 years in the back. That's what they bought it for. So we're going to transfer this one back to its best. This doesn't belong to the dealership. This belongs to the dealer that I sometimes do cars for. And I think now he's realising that it's worth spending that extra little money, because he's been taking his cars just to the car wash and then putting them up for sale. Whereas now he knows that I can obviously transform that, so he's giving it to me to get done. So we've got 3 days left of the month. We're currently running at £290 in the green, and then that will add these few on, and this month we made what we needed to make. Now whilst I was away, I've been thinking we are going to have to put the BMW up for sale than I wanted. Let's get it fixed up, let's get it gone, so then we can focus on just buying and selling. We don't need that BMW sitting around. So we've got to get that sorted in the next few weeks. By the end of August that needs to be gone. Whether it's finished or not, I'll put it up for sale as kind of an unfinished project. It runs, it drives. I think the MOT expires in a couple of days, so we need to get that redone as well. So a lot to do. BMW needs to be MOT'd and put back on the road. The TT needs to be finished, turbo pipe done in the next couple of weeks as well. We've got to do as much dealer work as possible, And yeah, I don't know where we're going to go from here. All I do know is we're going to have to put some work in, put some hours in, detail some cars. Let me know if you guys prefer where I video and then it's done. If you like to see the steps I take to transform each car, just put that in the comments and let me know. And as always, every like, every comment helps get these videos out there, which helps the channel grow. And that is another thing that we need to try and do over the next few months, grow the channel to 15,000 subscribers. We're on 10,500. Let's see if we can get to 15. Every little bit helps. Let's get to work. Well, it was fun being back at work yesterday, wasn't it? So I managed to get that Yeti done in the end and also get a car from the dealership, and I've got that one washed. Not too bad inside, so I'm just going to crack on and get that done. But we need to buy a car. Now, going back down in price is difficult because I cannot find a car. Motorway. This is 1,700, so but it's a 1 litre, and you guys said that was half my battle. So we're not going to buy any 1 litres anymore. EcoBoost for a grand, 100,000 miles, 71,000 miles, 1,300 quid, but it's red. This Mazda looked good, but actually it's got a advisory on the MOT for complete corrosion on the underside, and the bonnet is dented. This has been on here since before I went on holiday. Nobody wants to even touch that. So yeah, really struggling. Nothing really on motorway. Then I went over to Carwow. Same again. For the money that we want to kind of spend, there was this Fiat 500L, 840 quid. It's got a expired MOT. Well, it hasn't got an expired MOT. Went for an MOT and failed. It's got no service history, 118,000 miles. There was this Qashqai, boom. But when we go to the pictures, now these paint goes chalky anyway, but that is not chalky, that is damage, and a bad respray, maybe it looks like, on the arch. And then if we go to the damage pictures, that is completely cracked and ruined. So it needs loads of paint, so that's out. So finding good cheap cars is half the battle. So it's going to be a case that I'm going to have to look every day. But there was this. So I think moving forward, I'm going to have to use Dealermetrics more than CarWow and Motorway, purely because £1,000 car that's listed on Motorway and CarWow, add a £300 fee, we're already at £1,300, and you've still got to then prep it, so it's going to be hard. Whereas on Dealermetrics, these are all private adverts. So this is a Ford Fusion. It's a little automatic, 63,000 miles. It's not a million miles away from me in Ferndown. And it looks all right. So that might be an option. I'm going to send a message to the seller on Facebook and see if it's still available and if I can go and have a look. Because that could be a great little bit of stock, automatic, decent mileage, fairly reliable, those little Fusions, I think. So yeah, that's where we're at. Can I find something this week that's half decent, that's cheaper? The downside with buying cheaper cars, they're really hard to find a good one that you want to sell. So we'll keep looking. I'm going to go and crack on with this Mazda. It's just about finishing the month. That actually. So, with all the dealer work that we've done this month, obviously I missed a week's worth of work. We've done £2,095, commissions, YouTube, and one sale profit. So we're currently gross profit £3,432, VAT that we're going to have to pay, and then expenses £2,855, and then £327 in profit. Obviously, the expenses has all of the fuel, marketing, rent, cleaning materials. We spent £390 this month, so that's quite a lot. My wages, accountant, food, and insurance, £237. But I think that's my last insurance payment for this year, and then I've got now 3 months with no insurance payment, so that will be good for the last few months of the year. And then in terms of where we're at, April we lost 1,700, May we lost 1,100. That was the Audi A3. That was because we just didn't sell anything or do any dealer work. It was just awful. Last month we finished on 1,324, and this month, obviously, July would be, that should be over 600 right now if we didn't have to buy, or 700 if we didn't have to buy the cleaning materials. And obviously next month we have no insurance costs. So in August we're starting with £300 less. We're going to have a week's longer, because I didn't work for a week when we were on holiday, so we're going to have a week's extra to work. That's one. No insurance. And then we're going to get rid of the Focus at the end of this month. And then we can buy some more cheaper ones that hopefully turn faster than the more expensive ones. That's the upside to the cheaper cars. They do sell quicker in theory. So yeah, I am ready to rock and roll, and I'm going to go and get that done. Hopefully this week we can get a car in, and it's a bit interesting to film something on, something new, something different, something that we need to restore, renovate, do up. But for now, I'm going to just go and crack on. Every day I'm going to look for cars, and yeah, that's where we're at. It's the process. Let's get to it. So it's Thursday, and this week we're just getting on with jobs. It's first day back at work. Actually, just started raining, which is always fun. So rather than put the gazebo up, I'm just going to take this Focus over to the showroom. Yesterday I worked, finished the Mazda, and then did the interior on this one till it was done. And now all I've got left to do is polish it. And I just called them and said, it's just started raining. I'm going to bring this Focus and polish it inside your showroom. because I'll get a better result. It'll be better rather than having to mess about putting the gazebo up and then doing it under the gazebo. Faster, easier, stick it in the showroom. They can then get pictures done and I can take away the next one and then deal with that under the gazebo. But the reason I've jumped in right now is, if you saw the video where I bought everything from AutoSmart, the black dye, the shampoo, I'm just leaning because I'm getting rained on. The black dye, the shampoo, the G101, the Cobalt, all the cleaning products, £390 we spent on cleaning stuff. I'll put it here. I bought AutoSmart's satin black paint. Now you have to have one of these if you are detailing, selling cars, anything, because of little jobs like this. Been cleaned, it is lovely, no problems, but the rails have gone rusty. Now if you were coming to see this car and you looked inside, that's an eyesore. It doesn't look great, and that's your first impression. It looks awful. But this enamel is like, this thing sticks to anything. It rarely ever reacts. You can literally just spray it on anything. It's not a permanent fix, but as car dealers, we just need a nice non-rusty looking, and put some in the corner, and now that looks a billion times better. Now when you open the door and look inside, you're not greeted with a dirty rusty rail. So yeah, top tip, you definitely need to have one of these with you whenever you are detailing cars. And it also works really good as wheel paint because it just doesn't oxidize, it just sticks. Grills, window trim on Corsas. What else? You can use it for anything. It's so good. So yeah, that is satin black. I'm about to go to the dealership and polish this and see. I'm hoping we can get some exciting things going. And also I was thinking yesterday that the issue I have at the moment is that I took the dealership work so that I can make sure that everything is paid, which now is going to take up more of my time, but hopefully it will free up my weekends when we get into a rhythm that I do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just detailing cars. Statistically, Saturday, Sunday, they don't have cars to be done, which means I'll get the weekends off so I can spend some time with the family, but then we can also crack on. Oh my god, it's raining. Crack on with projects like the TT. I want to get that turbo boxed off and done. I want the BMW. I need to replace the lenses and the rear lights so we can get an MOT on it, and then from there the BMW's got to go because we can't afford to keep that. The TT, I'm thinking about keeping it, but probably that's going to have to go. And maybe we could buy a car and do it as a like restoration project like the TT, but maybe like a E39 BMW or an E46. I have got a £1,000 wide arch body kit in my loft, and if I put that on a convertible BMW, it would look like this. So that's an idea. I'd love to do that. Some fun content, something I'd enjoy. I like messing with cars. Right, I'm getting battered because it is now absolutely hammering it down. So I'm out of here. Bye. Saturday morning, August the 2nd. So that means that July is done. Now, July was not a bad month at all. I cannot complain because we got a break. We got away. We reset. We took over the dealership details, which means that we can kind of guarantee income. Now, my plan with that is we're just going to have to work harder. So, let's have a quick look at where we finished July. So, July, we go back one. In terms of work that we did, that was 2,095, and it was 18 jobs, which is actually not that many because we had a week off. So we would have made another maybe £500-600 if we'd not gone away. So I made £952 profit from the Fiesta. YouTube paid $265, but this month it's a lot less because again the videos this month didn't do too good. Dealership work, 2,000 like we just said, and that £2,000 kind of does pay the minimum of everything. Commissions, 120. So total gross profit that we made was 3,435. You've got that at 250, but that's not 100% accurate because I will still have to pay tax on this 2,000 as well as the £1,000 margin scheme on the Fiesta. Expenses 2,869, meaning that the business made 312, and if I didn't take a week off, that probably would have been, I don't know, 700-800, which would have been good, but I'm not going to complain. Now back on to August first of all. Obviously, costs that are always on the cash sheet: accountant, marketing, which is like Squarespace, and domain, and then rent 784. So stock on hand £9,128, but we'll talk about stock on hand in a second. YouTube this month only made £179.94. So far this weekend it's 480. So that Kia has been done, but he just hasn't paid it yet. So I'm just going to turn that to the next colour green because the invoice has been sent. That's the Fabia that is outside. That is more like a project car because it's done 40,000 miles, but it's so faded and scratched. So I need to finish that. I washed it last night. And then there's another one to pick up this afternoon as soon as I do that. And then there's another one on Sunday that I need to do. So it's 480 in the first 3 days of the month. I'll get those done. So it's not bad. No commissions or anything like that. So gross profit at the end of this weekend will be that minus 750. What is minus 750? Right. When she created the cash sheet, she left the money for the Fiesta in there. Right. Then that zero, and then we're £959 for expenses. So we're currently running straight out the bat £300 behind, which is really, really, really not bad. Gross profit. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, 300 quid to go to get to zero. That's amazing. We have just started. And with 300 quid to go, we'll just quickly look at this. So obviously I'm just tracking everything on here. How much YouTube made for the year so far, how much commissions I've made, and how much the business has made. So we're still running £1,191 behind. These figures obviously got updated with the exact correct one, and this will change if there's any receipts that haven't gone through from the last couple of days, but that should be now about bang on. So great month. Good month overall. We paid bills, we paid everything we needed to pay to survive, and we're in the green. So bad start to the year, good June, July. Now this month we need to achieve that, and we will achieve it purely because doing the dealer work, look, already I've made 500 quid in the first 3 days of the month. We've already made 500 quid from just detailing 4 cars, so not bad. Now, in other news, in very good news, tomorrow morning at 9 AM. So, I'll go back before I go forward. Yesterday, when I was cleaning, I don't know what I was cleaning, the Kia Rio, I said in my head that I'm gonna take the Focus over the weekend to the dealership, give it to them, and get my £3,800 back, and then on Monday buy it fresh and look for more cars, and we need to buy more cars. So I'm going, so that's my plan, that one day over the weekend I'm going to get the Fiesta Focus. It's early, and I've been up since about 7:30 with the baby. The Focus, I'm going to drop it off, give it to them, take my 3,800 back, and just focus on trying to buy next week in between details. That's what I need to do. Buy £2,000 or £3,000, £1,500 cars. That was my only goal next week. The phone rings. Can I book a viewing on the Focus for Monday at 4:30? I went to buy one today and it wasn't available. Well, it was available. He test drove it, but then they sold it. Now, the one that was sold was the one at the dealership where obviously I detail the cars. I was inside detailing the Focus, the black one that I did the other day when it was raining. And he came in, went for a test drive, but then they sold it. Now he's coming to see mine. So this could be epic if we can sell that car. Then I get an email yesterday afternoon from another guy. Can I come and see the Focus on Sunday, 9 o'clock? I thought, yes, you can. You can definitely come and see it. So that's tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. We've got a viewing. So today, I literally have just got to crack on, film some before and afters on this Fabia because it is hanging in terms of paintwork. But my plan is to just get this done, get the next one done, get the in between that, get the Focus done, and be ready for 9 a.m. to do a viewing and a test drive, and hopefully sell the Focus for £5,000. We're still only in it 3,800, which means that would be a £1,200 margin, meaning that we would be straight in the green going into the month. £5,000 in the account, plus there's £1,000 still in the bank account at the moment, so it'd be like £6,000. We can definitely buy 3 £2,000 cars. They typically should sell for 3.5. But it's finding them. So, big search, if we sell it, big search on Dealermetrics next week. So hopefully next week's video is going to be me buying 3 cars. That's got to be the aim. So, loads of detailing work, which keeps me surviving. And now that we've locked in the detailing work, we can now focus on filling up this side of the driveway with cars for sale. I've also decided that BMW is going sooner than I kind of want. I'm going to get the front lenses ordered, get the rear lens ordered, get all the bits together, get it ready for an MOT. It's got to be tuned properly on the dyno because that's why it's running an engine management light. It's going to need spark plug, it's going to need a good service, but we have to get that sorted. So if we also sell the Focus, take £1,000 of that money, chuck it at the BMW, that would probably make that worth 4.5, £5,000, and I'm in that car 1,500 at the moment. So another £1,000 spent trying to make it run perfect and get a new MOT. 2.5 should be able to sell it for 4.5 easily. I think from what I see, they sell for 5, 6, 7,000 with that mileage. So where we're at. That's the catch up. I'm going outside now to slave, try and get 2 cars done, prep the Focus. It's going to be a late one, and yeah, wish me luck. We will catch up before, you will find out in this video if I sell the Focus on Sunday. Right, Charles? What I mean? We will find out if I sell the Focus tomorrow morning, because I will, before I edit the video, I'll edit the video up to that point, and then I'll add that snippet on at the end. And then if it doesn't sell, it'll be next week. Next week's the big week. Let's get to work. That's it. This video has not been massively exciting, but those are the weeks. First week back from holiday, just catching back up, getting back into the routine. I think that's the hardest thing, and making plans to move forward. Nothing else. See you next week at 6:30. So it's about 4 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, and unfortunately the Focus did not sell. They just tried to kick me on it, and because I've got the viewing tomorrow at 4:30, I just said I'm not gonna do it. And then if you think about it, it's up for £5,000. They're trying to kick it down 500-600 quid so that they can get everything, the wet belt done, and get everything serviced the way they want and make the car perfect how they want. I might as well just give it to the dealership, because warranting a car for 500 quid, if that car blows up, I've got to give them their money back. If there's a problem with it, I've got to pay for it. And 500 quid is not enough for me to want to take that risk. It needs to be at least £1,000 a car, because if anything goes wrong, it's my fault. So that is where we end. Next week, tomorrow, the viewing at 4:30. That's where we'll start.